All right, all right, all right. We back with another video. Let me make sure everything's good. All right, yep. Back with another video. Back with another ranking the performances of the winners from last night's event, which was UFC Seattle, Song Yadong versus Henry Cejudo. Obviously, the night five good night of fights, a lot of finishes. I'm pretty sure almost every fight was a finish. Yeah, almost. Um, Yeah, I mean, yeah, we ranking the winners. My bad, I got a little off track there, but obviously the night ended in a funky way. That's true. It ended in a bit of a funky way there. So, but anyways, I'm gonna get right into it. My tier system, as far as like how I'm ranking, it kind of has a few factors to play in, like level of competition, expectations, I guess you could say, things of that nature. I'm sure I will explain it more as I go. I tend to ramble a little bit, but I guess we could start with the first fight of the night. I'm probably not gonna go in order after that, but we'll just go. Um, Baskauskas, how do you say his name? Yeah, fought Rafael Saketa. I kind of after everyone seen Saketa's last fight, everyone was kind of like, kind of doesn't seem like he's gonna be like that sort of force. You know what I mean? To really be like as he may have once looked. It was a little better showing for him though, but eventually he got finished against the cage. Again, so I'll say, given the fact that I'm about to be a little bit more hmm we'll keep him at A. I mean, because he got the finish early. He was, for a lot of people, he was expected to get the finish. So hold on, my bad. Let me just, for a lot of people, he was expected to get the finish. So you know what I'm saying. That had to get rid of that dog barking. My fault. My fault. That's unprofessional. Listen, it's only the second episode of this. All right. But anyways, yes, he was expected to get the finish, at least by me. For my prediction video, I believe I went with him. So we'll go with that. Let's go with Mansoor. So he fought a guy who was making his UFC debut, and Nick Klein. I was kind of high on Nick Klein, I guess, for the most part. For the most part, I was high on him. So we'll take that. But it was a tough one. It was a tough one for Nick. Obviously, he didn't look like he was, as far as like stand up wise, did not look like he was ready for the UFC. I mean, he did rock Mansoor though with that spinning back fist or whatever. Kind of caught him with the elbow and whatever. But other than that, it did not look like he was really ready for, I guess you could say, UFC competition on the feet. If my whole thought process was, if he can get Mansoor to the ground, then yeah, But regardless of the fact, I think I picked Mansoor to win anyways. But he went in there and did what he was supposed to do. I think expected to. I think there's a lot of fights in this card where people are expected to win. He had a he obviously had a good showing. Got hurt a little bit. Was able to stay in there. Didn't give up any bad position when he was hurt. So with that being said, I think I'm gonna give him. I mean, that was an A performance too for me. I wouldn't put him in front of, but I always forget how to say his name. I wouldn't put him in front of Modestus, I believe his first name is. Wouldn't put him in front of him because level of competition that he fought compared to him. But they were both expecting to win, so yes. All right, so Costas or Costa, we're gonna go with him. Um, he fought Andre Feely, uh, hometown guy. Got the finish, guillotine. I feel like this fight was kind of like down the middle. I know for me, I think I did take Andre Feely, so obviously got that one wrong. Looked good on the feet for the most part. The submission did not think it was completely in yet. He was kind of like in half guard when he got that, which was kind of crazy to me that he got that and he was like kind of sitting in half guard in a way. Like, well, Feely was sitting in half guard, so it was like it was interesting. Just leverage must have been perfect. A lot of pressure. Um, it was a finish though, like right, like a good finish of a veteran guy. But I would say as far as like, ooh, that'd be difficult because Philly, I would say, had good competition. But we're gonna put him at we're gonna put him at B, but I'm gonna switch this. We're gonna put him at B. See, this is what's difficult about this. I ain't gonna lie, because it's kind of like, although it is all my opinion, this right here, this isn't like public opinion. I'm sure people would disagree, but I'll say I'd actually do that. Performance wise, he uh, he fought the tougher guy, the guy with more experience. So we'll take that. We would take that. Make sure I'm not forgetting anybody down there. I feel like I would have. All right, I want to get to the Iwan Kutilaba and Ibo Aslan. So that fight. See, I think in my prediction video I said something like Iwan might revert to wrestling, which he clearly did. I'm not gonna lie. He fought a killer coming up, Turkish Power, Aslan. I was going against him. A lot of people were going against him. I think everyone thought um, Ebo would have got him out there, like got him out of there quick first round. So in my opinion, he probably had one of the better. Well, he got caught a lot, but that was expected, right? Like we expected him to get caught. I would say he had one of the better performances of the night. I wouldn't put it S tier because it's not like he went out there. See, like I feel like I would have put this S tier if he would have just went out there and completely like wrestled in like, see, like when I'm thinking like S tier, I'm thinking of like, your path to victory and you get that done regardless of what the other person has. Like I guess that's kind of what I think. That's kind of how I like to think about it. So it's like he really he was pretty short of that, just a little bit, only because of the fact that he was kind of standing, but it was super entertaining though. Like when they were standing, I expected a fight like that, kind of be like a little wild. I hope sometime in the future, before like Yuri Prohachka retires, we can get like a Ebo versus Yuri. I just think those two would just swing it out. They both kind of like fight with their hands low and just throw. So that'd be kind of cool. Let's go with Austin. I believe that's his first name, right? Vanfort. I can't remember how to say his last name. But Paige Van. I don't want to just relate to him as Paige Van Zant's husband or whatever. But he had a good performance. Wrestled, strong wrestler. A decent all around performance, I would say. Just kind of keep it brief with this one. Level of comp, you know, and this is also gonna be hard too because they're winners, right? Like it's like kind of like performance wise. I'm thinking anywhere from the B to C range. I wouldn't put them in front of either one of these guys really, but we'll stick with B for now. Like I said, like if you see my last video, like that I had ranking the winners of the last UFC, like I'll probably change here and there depending on who I get. Let's go with Ricky Simone, another guy who I went against. He got a good knockout over Basharat. I'm high in like the Basharat brothers, more varied than Javid, but that was a that was an unexpected win on my end. I definitely did not expect him to get the knockout. I think that was a great level of competition wise. This is one of those fights where Ricky kind of really wasn't expected to win, so I think he's sitting up here with as far as like an A performance. He got the finish. I think it was round two, but it's knockout out of nowhere. He, I actually put him front B. Yeah, let's put him in front B because I don't. It's not like he was like dominant, right? Like it was. Yeah, I'll put him front B for now. All right, my fault. Let's go Ruzabayev. He fought a Costas. I can't remember his last name, but I think he was making his UFC debut too. So he fought the dude. Dude looked like a mini Khalil Roundtree. Like, he didn't look like he was too happy to be in there and strike with Ruzabayev. To be honest, he looked very kind of basic, throwing leg kicks. Really, only he was kind of afraid to overextend. We kind of seen what happened when he kind of try to push the pace. He got caught with that straight. Then he like fucking like stumbled, went crazy, stumbled, fell against the cage. Um, Ruzabai went in there, did what he was supposed to do, right? Did what he was supposed to do. The other dude didn't really have much for him at all. So I think I'll put him right here. I'll put him just behind Modestus. Only for the simple fact of the level of competition between those two and just all three of them in the top right there. I think it just sits right. But the dude didn't have anything for Ruzabayev, to be honest. It looked like he didn't know what to do in there. I would say. um, let's go to Alonzo Menafield. He fought Julius Walker. Yeah, Julius Walker. Julius Walker making his debut, so that was interesting. He looked like he seems like he has a lot of potential. Like he didn't even fight any time before. He was a college basketball player. I think he's like 6'4", so a good size light heavyweight. It was clear what his game plan was from the beginning. It was to get Alonzo against the cage, drag him down. Wasn't able to do that, but it turned into a fight on the feet, like where, they were trading here and there, but they looked to kind of be exhausted like round two. Even though Walker came out, I think round three looking pretty fresh. This thing with Walker, I think he needs to go train with like AKA or something. Really go get some I feel like just some veteran, like he just needs to be in the room, like have like veteran presence when he's like training and whatnot, and like the best of the best. Because I mean, to say that this is his debut, he didn't look bad. There was just a lot of potential. I mean, he debuted on the main card too. Like, to me, that's a little crazy, but it would be crazy to anyone, I think. But I'm gonna give Alonzo a C. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't give him a D because he stopped the game plan of Walker, right? But I feel as if there was like a lack of sense of urgency. I think he was maybe giving Walker a little too much respect on the feet. Like, I feel like there was times when Alonzo possibly could have gotten a finish if he would have let his hands go a little bit more. Um, so if I was really being harsh, it would be a D. But it. I think I'm okay with C. Definitely wouldn't be okay with putting it anything higher than a C, just because the sense of urgency was not there. I think the sense of urgency was not there. So, um, let's go with John Silva. My guy. This guy I'm big on. So this will be a little biased. I'm gonna be honest here, but level competition. Bogdasarian is, in my opinion, really good. Great on the feet, fast. He's crazy fast. He's a puzzle to solve on the feet, I think. But John Silva just has that. He has that equalizer and that power, and very sharp. Accurate, smart. Like, he's a killer, to be honest. Like, he's one of those guys. I think future champ, future star in general. Like, future star in general. Now, I would think that this would be probably the only S tier performance on tonight. For now, this is just what I think. And like I said, a little bias. There's a little bias. It is what it is. Everyone has their guys. Everyone has their guys. But at the same time, I think level of competition, the performance, His path to victory was very simple. It's obvious. It kind of always is. It's to get that knockout finish, whatever. Um, and it was one of those things like where it was kind of just you knew it was coming. You knew that big shot was coming, and you knew when that big shot landed, like it was done. Like it should have been a walk off KO. I don't know what the ref was doing. Like Bagdasarian was done. He was looking at the ref like, you gonna stop it? Like it was done. Then he had to add in those elbows. Some elbows were nasty, but he's a real star. I'm really liking the whole fighting nerds camp for real. Like I'm not too really sold on Berhelio yet, but I'm definitely sold on Prodis and Silva. Like those are my guys right there. And little bias, I guess you could say, but I feel like there'll be a bunch of people who would agree. I mean, he didn't put himself in any crazy position. He picked his shots, and the shot that we all knew was coming landed, and yeah, that was it. So let's do Rob Font. So Rob Font beat Masamuto by decision, I believe, if I remember. Yeah, decision. I think it was split. Wasn't it a split decision? It was very close. Um, so this is one of those. I think I actually picked Rob Font. I believe Rob Font. They give him these young guys coming up, and he just somehow always beats them. I mean, he's. I was predicting possibly like a knockout, right? Like I was thinking maybe he can get Matsumoto, like catch him. But then like after thinking a little bit more, like Matsumoto is a very like well-rounded guy, young too. I think 25 or whatever. Well-rounded. The fight with Brad Katona was the only thing that had me thinking like, okay, Brad was hitting him that much. Like I'd imagine if Rob hits him, it ain't gonna be as pretty as it was with Brad Katona, but it is what it is though. With that, I think Matsumoto is gonna be one of those dudes who's kind of like, I think he has to. He's like almost like a dude who Troy now. Like once they reach their I think like physical and mental prime, like they're gonna be a problem. Like Dooku Troy coming back now, I think is like leagues better than what he was before. Like, cause like it's like now he has like his body caught up to him as far as like physical prime. I think his mental is like perfect as far as like what he wants. He knows how to get the victory. He knows what to do. His path to victory is very clear and concise. I think that's kind of like what we're gonna see from Matsumoto. He probably won't see like a title challenge within the next like 3 years, but I'm thinking like down the line, I think once he puts it all together, it's gonna be good. But anyways, this is about Rob Font because Rob Font won. So Rob Font was supposed to fight Dominic Cruz. That's also another thing. Matsumoto came in late notice, whatever. But um, I'm gonna put Rob Font. I mean, he's just that young guy killer, right? Like I almost want to put him. I think I could put him in front of Rizabov. Yeah, I almost want to put him there. I mean, it's kind of hard actually because he had the full camp. Matsumoto didn't, so he was expecting to fight Dominic Cruz, which I think he probably would have knocked Cruz out. I think Cruz might have been on his way out anyways. I mean, he retired, but yeah, I think I'm okay with keeping him there. He was fighting a younger guy, killer in my opinion, up and coming, good all around guy. So you really had to be on your p's and q's, especially on the ground when you're going up against Matsumoto. So I think he had a good performance, greater performance. This kind of looks like the one I had last week, as far as like the layout. Um, so let's go with Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. So he didn't have at first, right? He didn't have the best performance. Like Brandon Allen came out looking great, incredible, and Hernandez in the post fight whatever was talking about he was on antibiotics and all of that. He was sick, moxicillin, whatever he was saying, all that stuff. So he did seem a little sluggish in there, but he got the job done. Like you know what I mean? He got the job done. Um, for the most part, I feel like it started off heavy Allen's way, and then Hernandez kind of found his way towards the end. So level of competition, obviously, Allen's one of those guys in the top of the division. Uh, But he starts hot and then he kind of does fall off. He did that shit with Imavov too, so you know. But they fought before. Hernandez got the win too, also. So good. Overall, a good showing. I wouldn't say his obviously not his best showing, but I would put him at the top of B. I'll put him at the top of B, or actually let's put him A. I'll put him A in front of Rob Font, but behind Modestus because of the simple fact. I mean, I guess we gotta take into the account. It's kind of hard though, but I guess we'll take into account that he was, on the antibiotics and whatnot, so he wasn't completely himself, and he still got the job done. He weathered the storm at the beginning, did good enough. I feared that this fight was gonna be a little boring. I mean, it was okay, but I'm okay with having him there. Song Yadong. Let's go with Song Yadong. The ending of that fight, I can ramble on for days about my thoughts about Henry Cejudo. I've said it in the prediction breakdown video. I don't think Henry Cejudo is mentally there anymore. I think he's, you know what I'm saying. He's done. Like once you retire, especially in MMA, once you retire and you come back, like MMA is growing so fast. Like especially at like a skill level wise, especially at that weight class, like those lower weight classes, it's nothing but skill and athleticism plays a part too, but it's not as big of a part as it is in like the higher weight classes. But Song started off the fight looking like that first round, he was just so calm, waiting for his shots. Like that was like a mature side of Song that I was like that looks like he's ready to be like contender level, like you know what I mean, like title contention level ready. And I my fear for this fight was like he would get caught and he would kind of like go into that crash out mode that he sometimes goes into, and then Henry would get the takedown or anything. But that didn't happen. He defended the takedowns well, quick. He looked super fast in there. He was catching Henry as he was coming in a few times, but then Henry really started to. That's kind of what happens with guys who are super patient and they kind of wait for their shot. Is they get caught with those straights, either jab or straight right down the middle. Henry started finding a home with that jab and throwing the straights after. Um, Song was, Song started to struggle a little bit, right? I think that was round two when all that was happening. I think, or it might have been three. It might have been three. I can't remember exactly, but because the way the fight ended. So then the eye poke came. The eye poke came. He waited the whole time. Now that's just that wrestling stuff, bro. Like that American wrestling, bro. These wrestling tournaments, and you see wrestlers love to find like these little loopholes. That's just something that they do. I'm not gonna get too far into that. And listen, I can't wrestle, so if any wrestlers out there hate me for that, like, bro, what it is. I'm just saying. But that is something that they do a lot. They like to find these loopholes and find and have the best advantages. But they think a lot, right? Like wrestlers, some people may think like wrestlers are dumb. Like they over evaluate things. Like they're smart. So I'm sure he was sitting there. He was gonna wait that whole time. When he got poked because the fight was it was really Song started to take over again. So it started with Song taking over, managing the distance well. Um, Catching Cejudo coming in and defending takedowns. Then Cejudo started to find his range, started landing the jabs. It was a little quicker. He had like a little more pop. It was kind of like he was getting like his confidence back. But then Song started to take over again, and I think the leg kicks and everything started to add up. I think Henry was looking for a way out of that fight. The eye poke came. He waited the full 5 minutes. Like it was like 5 minutes and 20 seconds or something. Rest of the round, they're it was kind of you know what I mean? And then he got back to the corner. He's like, I can't fucking see. I can't see out my eye. I can't see. Just looked like he was looking for a way out. It's like he was intentionally telling the ref. And I know I've seen a lot of people who sitting there complaining like, oh, like he got poked in the eye. Like that's serious. Like obviously it's serious. Everyone gets poked in the eye every once in a while in these fights. It happens like 4 times a night in UFC, right? Like in MMA in general, like this shit happens. But I mean, his body language wasn't showing that his eye was seriously affecting him to that extent. Like he sat down, was smiling at the laughing at the crowd booing him. Like nothing about his body language indicated that he seriously couldn't see and it was really bothering him. He wasn't excessively blinking. He wasn't doing any of that stuff. He was looking for a way out of the fight. That is what it is. If this was Henry like 4 or 5 years ago, when he was in his prime and he didn't have the belt yet, he was on his way up. Like there ain't no way he's looking for an hour to fight. Like there's no way. I believe he's seen Song was starting to take over, and he gave it all he got in the round previous or whatever, where he started landing those my bad, landing the jabs and whatnot. So I think he looked for a way out in that fight. So that's just really what that is. Song, in my opinion, if Song would have got the finish, I wanted so bad like for him to be like this was a S tier performance. But what I will put him at is in front of A, at the front of A, because he dealt with adversity, stopped the takedowns. Um, this was his biggest fight yet in his career, as far as like name wise goes. Um, the the way it ended is stupid. Like technical decision, crazy. I was in my mind. I was like, imagine if these judges gave this Henry Cejudo. Like that would be the craziest scam finesse wrestling move ever pulled, like ever. But luckily the judges got it right. That would have been insane. But I'll give him an A. I'll give him an A. Top of A. If he would have got the finish, 100% would have been a S tier. You know what I mean? S tier performance. The best. But yeah, this video definitely went a little longer than I thought it was gonna go. But yeah, I mean, with that being said, this is my rankings for the performances of last night. You know what I mean? If you like this video, like it, comment, share it with whoever, share it with your people. Um, if you have any suggestions or ways that I could do this better, or let me know. But yeah, this is that's the video for now. I'm rambling. I'm using up all my voice, and yeah, that's it, man. Appreciate it.